My name is Gianni Russo, a.k.a. Carlo, the infamous son-in-law from The Godfather. I'm now known as the Hollywood Godfather, and this is my story.
Before all of the wins in my portfolio, I was a little boy diagnosed with polio. Experimenting with cures, I tried every one. Felt everything in my right, but my left was numb. Walking with a limp, like will I ever run? Once again, or is this it? Am I forever done? Living in the hospital was never fun. Some people were cool, but not everyone.
Welcome, everybody. It's time for another Hollywood Godfather. And I don't know why it took me so long to have our next guest on, because one of my oldest friends in the business, and that goes back 52 years. And I met him soon after The Godfather. We co-starred in a couple of things, and we had a lot of fun, which we'll get into. But before we introduce our guest, my grandmother taught me, well, I have to introduce the lady first. So, Jeannie Raymond, how are you, my darling?
Hi, I'm great. Thank
Everything
you.
is
My
good?
favorite day of the week, hanging out with you.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So before we go any further, this man, Al Sapienza, is one of the once you see him, you'll know who's Al Sapienza. Once you see him, you see him everywhere. He's been on every show. I'll let him give his credits. Al, thank you for being here with us today, please.
Yeah, you're the greatest. Listen, I have to say I'm a little bit insulted. You know, I'm very woke, and this week I identify as a woman, and I wanted to be introduced first because I identify as a woman. I'm very woke, and I think I was very impolite, Gianni.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pulling your leg. Hello, Gianni. You're the greatest.
I'm sorry.
You're hilarious.
No, why were you identified as a woman? Let me ask that one.
You know, I don't know. It's because it's May.
Okay.
You know, June,
Okay.
I'll identify as a young Hispanic guy.
So you're getting into those kind of things, huh? Every month you change.
No, I hate woke. I'm kidding. It drives me
Oh.
crazy. It makes me insane. My skin's boiling over just thinking about it.
Oh,
But I have to say, before we start, you're one of my idols, Johnny. And
Aw.
I'm not joking around. You know why? You're one of the luckiest people in the world because you have passion for everything. You are one of those guys that you are excited. I'm serious. It's so you're excited about everything. You're excited about everything. You're passionate about everything. You get tons of things done. You're a marvel. And I actually always I'm just very in awe of what you do and what you've accomplished and what you do all the time.
well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And
It's so true. Sorry, Gianni, but Gianni does bring such a great energy, and just it is in everything he does, and you see it. He's always in a good mood, unlike myself. Always a pleasure to be around. And the one thing you do, Gianni, is you are thankful for every day, and it is inspiring to me to always just be grateful for what you've got, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that, because it's inspiring to all of us to look for the good in every day.
I'm glad I'm inspiring a few.
You are. That's the word I wanted to use. You are inspiring. I look to you and I want to be what you're doing when you know, and all the great things you do. You do so much stuff.
I've been doing so many crazy things. It's funny that because I'm about to announce something. I can't even believe it's happened.
Tell us.
And you being a performer on stage, I'm invited for a week to go to Baku.
That's great. I don't know where Baku is. Is it by New Jersey?
Wait, you won't believe where it is. It's between Iran and Russia.
Oh my God.
It's 17-hour flight. I'll be there for 6 days. I'm asked to join in a concert on July 26th, starring Engelbert Humperdinck. Emin, he's a major star over there. David Foster, who I worked with before, and his wife.
Great.
Wow.
And they put the tickets on sale. They all sold out already, 5,000 tickets.
Wow.
And we're filming it. I said, why do you want me there?
Man.
We're breaking ground for the first Godfather hotel. These people are building 5 of them, and they made me the mascot.
That's
Talking about
great.
this is insanity.
That's
That
great.
is so cool.
Oh, it's really cool. It's going to be good. It's fun.
Can I ask one question? Me
Sure.
being a very spiritual guy and a true friend, since you're right between Iran and Russia, if you don't come back, can I have one of your apartments?
I'll call my attorney right away.
Hey, I want a
Send me your
neighboring one.
invitation. What do you
That's
want?
great.
amazing.
That's going to be a blast.
I can't believe it. And the people that are calling me and getting involved in it, it's so huge. I mean, Alan Margulies, a name from my past 30 years ago. Alan Margulies was the entertainment director of Caesar's Palace
Wow.
30
Wow.
years ago. He's producing this show. And he owns a company called Alan Margulies in Beverly Hills. I didn't even know that. That's what he does now.
Great.
But let's talk about you. You're the guest. We
Yeah.
gotta. I want to hear you. I mean, your credits would take 40 minutes.
I love working. I'm a workaholic. I'm the happiest when I'm at work. I can't stand sitting around. So I just always try and work. Right now I'm doing the Anna Nicole Smith story with
Wow.
and she's really a good actress. From the Terminator. Oh my God. There's so true.
Oh, it was right there. Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's really, really a good actress. She
Really?
plays the take on this story. It's the true story. A doctor was accused of manslaughter when she died, and he was completely innocent. Completely.
I remember that whole thing.
Yep. And he
I
was
was good
accused.
friends with her, believe it or
Oh
not.
no, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful. I didn't know her at all. And this guy, he again was completely innocent. He was trying to help her. He gave her methadone because she was pregnant and she quit cold turkey, and she and the baby could have died. So, and he's a young Indian doctor. And if he didn't have wealth and his dad didn't have wealth, he would have been ruined. They only brought charges because Jerry Brown was running for governor again. He was, coming out of retirement, running for governor. And he and the attorney general were like, this is great publicity, great. They really had no case, nothing to go on. And if this guy, he spent $1 million on lawyers, 1 million, and got completely acquitted, but he would have been ruined. And he's practicing medicine again. And I met him. He came to the set. He's a really nice man and a good guy.
I never heard this part of the story. It's interesting. Well, obviously, they just have. How many years were they in? How many years was the case going on?
Oh, that's a good question. I think according to this thing, like 2 years, according to the script. I don't know exactly, but I'd estimate from what I'm reading in the script. And this guy, he wasn't even treating her at the end when she died. The other doctor was giving her the methadone, and he gave her prescriptions that he absolutely medically believed and proved that she needed. And when she was pregnant, she couldn't go cold turkey. You could die if you're on methadone. So anyway, it's a really good story. It's well written. Abby Cornish, that beautiful singer, she plays Anna Nicole Smith. Cal Penn plays this Indian doctor. Remember Cal Penn from the Kumar and Harold movies and from Designated Survivor? He's really a good guy. Anyway, I'm having a great time. I love, you know what? You said I work all the time. I'm the kind of guy, like, I can't, a few years ago, you said 52 years you've been an actor. My first union job was in 1976. The Doctor soap opera. It's going to be 50 years in 2 years. I will be acting for 50 freaking years. I'm not even going to get a gold watch. No one's even going to send me a thank you note. It's like,
give me your address. I'll send you.
I'll send you a watch.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll send you the thank you note. Gianni's probably better equipped for the gold watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember not working with you. What was our first show together?
I think the first thing we did was Prison Break, like 5 years ago.
Well, that was the first thing. I thought we did a couple of.
So. You weren't into The Sopranos, right? You weren't on The
No,
Sopranos.
I wouldn't go near that. No, I mean, I had he sent me the script before when nobody wanted it in LA for a year or two.
No, and nobody wanted that show.
They were passing it around, and David Chase wrote me a movie of the week when Universal were doing them, and I starred in it.
Yeah.
So he thought I'd be great for Tony Soprano. So he sends me the script, which is a funny story. And about 4 or 5 days later, he called me back. He said, "Did you get the script?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you read it?" I said, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, I couldn't get past the second page. Why? I said, "I know every mob boss in the world. And, there's no mob boss I know walking down his driveway and getting his own newspaper, because the next day he'd be dead."
That's really funny.
No, but it's true. And, I just, and I didn't want to tell everybody else passed on it. Now you're giving it to me. I don't want it.
Wow. But anyway, I forgot. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, and I'm not being dramatic. I'm telling the God's honest truth. I figured out a few years ago why I love acting so much. I can't stand reality and singing. I can't stand reality. Like, I'm one of those guys, probably like you, Johnny, judging from your success and your vibe. I do everything right. Everything's clean and neat. I handle my affairs properly. I have real estate like you. I take care of my finances. I eat healthy. I work out. I think this world, this country, this state, this city is run like crap. And I can't take it. I can't take the managers that are running the United States and Albany and Los Angeles and San Francisco. These people couldn't run a McDonald's profitably. They couldn't run a McDonald's. They're idiots.
And they're still keeping them in it. They're still doing it all. It's amazing.
Exactly. And they're corrupt. They don't love the country like when we were young. Nobody pledges the flag. Nobody loves America anymore. Everyone hates America. We're the best thing on the planet. Go to Somalia, hang out, see how well you do if you're gay and trans and you want to have a great time for the weekend. I don't understand it. So showbiz, when I'm reading a script, I'm not in reality. When I'm learning lines, I'm not reality. When I'm rehearsing, I'm not reality. When I'm filming, I'm not reality. When I'm singing, I'm not reality. When I'm playing an instrument, I hate reality. So I want to work 24 hours a day. I love being around creative people like you and listening to all these crazy stories. I love going to work. I'm the happiest at work. It's that simple. So that's why I work all the time.
I mean, you are always working, fortunately, but that's great though. And I love your ambition and your shows. You're flying all over doing shows. I mean, I called Vegas one time. A friend of mine owns a club there called the Italian American Club. He said, "Oh, there's a guy who knows you."
Nick Spano. Nick.
Yeah, hello.
Spano. Yeah. I sing there. I love that place. Yeah, he loves you. He mentioned you. He loves you.
I know him from Buffalo, New York, not even Vegas. Then he came to Vegas. He used to come to my house on Sundays when he came to Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. But you go, Eden Albert, you're up at that, every club and they call me, said, "Why don't you come there and work?" He said, I don't want to work there. Yeah. And that's what he mentioned to do. He said, "Your friend is here now." I said, "I'll give him my best."
Good for him. And you know what, Johnny? Whenever I do these, first of all, I love doing these gigs. By the time I fly Joey Malati out from Las Vegas, put him up, give him per diem, pay for his hotel, pay the other guys, these jobs all cost me money. Everyone, but I don't care. I'm serious, but I love.
I know that. No, I know that about you because I know what they pay. But you're a professional. And you show yourself right. Yeah, and like you said, now I'm finding out the real reason you like being in that make-believe world.
Yeah,
you like being up there singing, and I could understand that.
Yeah,
I went through a transition when I became Gianni Russo, because up until I did The Godfather, I was known throughout the world as the kid, because they never would let me give my name because they didn't want anybody to know my real name. That was the world I was living in. Then all of a sudden, people that I've known forever, every mob guy in the world, You didn't tell me you were an actor. I said I wasn't an actor until I did this movie.
You know,
Just-
I'm not a movie star and I'm not doing big fancy things, but I am.
You could be if
so
you want to.
blessed.
You just want to
Oh.
stay out west in Utah.
Well, I'm sure I could not, and I certainly can't sing, but I'll tell you, I am exactly the same. My son keeps telling me, my son told me this weekend, I spent the weekend with him, and he's like, Mom, you just need to slow down, and I'm like, I don't want to slow down. I don't want it. And people say, you just need to sit down and relax. And I say, I don't want to relax.
Oh no, I don't want to do that either.
Anxiety. Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. Always moving, whether I'm volunteering. You know, I work for the VA out there in the day for the veterans. So once I get off work, I am always moving, doing something, and it keeps my spirits up rather than sitting around. I get anxiety worrying about the world and all the crap and all the grandkids coming up into this crazy world. And I think you're better off just doing what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
exciting. Next time
work,
you're in Vegas, let me know.
but
Gone or not?
when you look at it, the privilege we have, and I had a strange childhood, and I always had to, fantasize to make myself happy. And basically, that's what we're saying. We're adults. We're still fantasizing.
Totally. We still get to be children and play cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians, get paid for it, get to kiss girls on the set. It's like ridiculous.
No, it's crazy. I mean, but I think, I'll be 82, and I don't want to stop anything. My kids say, when I work 3 time zones a day, every day, like 4 o'clock. I'm on the phone to Sicily at my factories and doing that and getting that all done. Then I'll sleep again, get up at 11 o'clock. And then I wait for LA to open up and I call them up. And it works, but it works. But I'm having fun. And nothing thrills me more. This is going to sound crazy. And I'm talking to like we're only talking to 3 of us. Fortunately, we have 1 million people out there. Nothing thrills me more than looking at my bank accounts and how they're filling up.
Of course.
Oh, man. That's
And
right.
I'm going to make an announcement, not out of bragging. I'm bragging because of, like you're saying, I just did this stuff.
You made it happen. You created it all yourself. It's great.
No, that's what's so crazy about it. But Campbell's Soup did me the biggest favor last year. I don't know if you know about this. Campbell's Soup bought 3 spaghetti sauces for $2.7 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, the day they bought them, because I just renewed 10 more years with the license of the Godfather.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I'm going on QVC, but why I'm going to exploit me become the first self-made billionaire, illiterate, is I want kids out there to know you don't have to come from wealth. You don't have to have a great education. Have a dream, pursue it, and stay with it. I will have $1 billion net, May 25.
Oh my God. Listen, you're talking to the wrong guy. Can you lend me a couple of bucks?
Right,
Cool.
really.
Why not?
Holy
In a minute.
So, and you know what's amazing, Johnny? And first of all, you were great. You were great. If you weren't great, it would have been a major problem. Your first gig that made you leave this world and go into that world, you happen to have been in one of the greatest movies ever made in the history of mankind. So it's there are guys that make 70 we shouldn't curse, sorry, 70 terrible movies. And then you're in this movie, you were great in it as Carlo. So that says a lot. But that was your introduction to the world in showbiz. You like it was like, that's a phenomenal platform, of incredible way. Like that was good fortune, good karma, good everything.
But it's spiritual to me. It wasn't karma. I pray all day long because I know my
You were blessed.
Yeah. And that's, to me, how did I get this part? I was the right place, the right time. I didn't get the part on my accolades being an actor. I never acted before.
I'm saying, and
I
you,
solved the problem with the unions that Joe Colombo needed. And I know the mob, they want to make money. And I showed them how we can make money with this Godfather.
it's amazing.
And you know why I feel sorry for that guy now? On June 28th, 1971, before the movie came out, we were just finishing the movie. We finished in August. He was shot and put into
I
a coma
know.
for the next 5 years of his life.
Yeah.
Never saw the movie.
Yeah.
Don't know who he was.
Who?
Joe Colombo.
Joe Colombo at the
Joe Colombo.
Columbus Day
Oh.
Parade in front of thousands of people. His son was in the audience,
Yeah.
and he gets shot. And do you think the cops were in on it?
Well, no, the cops weren't, the mob was.
Yeah, no, I know the mob was.
Mob, they
But
killed 17 people that day. And
jeez.
that created another problem for me because they called Tommy Bellotti called me who was shot down in front of Sparks with Castellano.
Driving Castellano.
Yeah, and he was he was the underboss to the Gambino family at that time. And he said, "You going to that rally?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You can't go." I said, "What are you talking about?" I got me the part in the movie. I'm on the dais. He said, "I don't care if Joe Colombo's sitting on your lap. You can't go to your old man." Gambino said you can't go.
Warned you. Wow, that's
And I
great.
said, "What the hell am I going to do?" And that's that morning, June 28th, 1981. So fortunately, somebody's on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I called Barry Schlotnick, who was the attorney for the Italian Defamation League. I said, "Barry, you got to tell Joe I can't come today." He's like, "Are you crazy?" I said, "I can't." I said, "I got stomach poisoning last night. The only place I'm sitting is on the toilet." But if I didn't make that call, I'd been dead.
Yeah.
Because when they examined the crime scene, all the photographs a day or two later,
You'd be sitting in a seat.
there was a seat that had my name on it and nobody was in it.
Yeah.
Well, not only did organized crime go after it, organized crime, the Colombo family went after it. They wanted to know, what did I know and why wasn't I there?
Oh, Jesus.
I had to disappear again. But I mean, the experiences of having these privileges are amazing. But
And you were like, it's not easy to act. You were terrific in that movie. You were terrific.
Thank
The
you.
scene where Al Pacino tells you, he goes, you have to answer for Sonny, Carlo. You were amazing. When you were fighting with the wife, you were amazing. That fight scene, oh my God, your part was great. It was just,
thank God. I mean, but again, I had nothing to do with it. I can't even take credit for it.
You were a natural, Gianni.
You were a natural. You had confidence. You know,
Well,
it was
Brando, I have to say this to you. That's why on stage, I say, I've had one singing teacher, Frank Sinatra,
oh, geez.
one acting teacher, Marlon Brando. When Marlon Brando was going through that transition to become Marlon Brando at 48 to Don Corleone, Dick Smith, who's his makeup man forever, took him 3 hours. And he wanted to get me fired, and he couldn't. He went to Coppola and said, "We can't fire him. The picture don't get made." He was brought in by the producers and the mob, and they let it go.
Wow.
But he would call everybody, like you're saying, all the thespians that were on that set. They all wanted to go into. We were on the houses up there on Staten Island in the compound, and Brando had the house with like Pacino and James Caan, but they couldn't even go in his room. It was off. Can't do it. He sent for me. He says, "Get that kid." And while he was going through makeup, he was running scenes with me for months.
Wow.
And then being an actor, most people don't know. We get a number. Number one, number two. They give you a number not to use your name. Well, Brando obviously was number one. So now it's Pacino, 2 or 3 other guys, and myself there to do that scene in the living room that was created in the studio. And here comes Brando. There's a whole commotion. We hear a commotion. And they're all going, number one's on the set. Who called the number one? Who called number one? And Brando said, "I'm here to help that kid." The
Wow.
whole room went crazy, even Pacino. And he came in, man. And he was almost directing the scene.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we went through the whole thing because he even said to me, when he hands you that ticket, what are you going to do with it? I said, I don't know. He said, I want you to look at it. This is your escape. Try to see if there's a ticket because you already know you're dying, but you can't project that on a 36-foot screen.
Yeah.
But that was him. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Wow. And I remember you staring at that ticket. That's exactly what you did. You put your head down and you looked at that ticket. Wow. I've
no,
seen
but
this movie like over 100 times. Easy. I'm
no,
serious. Easy.
you've seen it more than me.
I've
Well,
seen
you
it
know
over
what?
100 times. Believe
I
me.
tell people, I ask people when they hear I'm working with a podcast, they said, they ask, well, what one is it? And I'll say, have you seen The Godfather? And either they haven't or they go, what's wrong with you? It's not, have you seen The
Exactly.
Godfather? It's how many times have you seen The Godfather?
But there's still a lot of people out there that haven't seen it. You know,
Yeah.
I have. This is gonna kill you. I have kids that come up to me. They saw me when I was in the Super Mario Brothers. I
That's
did
really
that
fun.
movie for my little two kids. They love Super Mario Brothers.
That's
So
funny.
when
I
they
love
called me up to play the villain, I was the villain in there. You know, I kidnapped the princess. That's what I get on the street. I'm saying to myself, what are they? What planet are they from?
That's right. You see, you tell the different ages. Well, I want to hear how you got started. Let's do a quick commercial, and then if that's all right with you, if you could give
You,
us.
Al, not me. Yeah, this is
Yes,
about you, this
Al,
show.
that's right. I want to hear how you got started in the business, but we'll
I,
do a quick commercial and come right back, okay?
I
All right,
slept my way to the bottom.
there you
There
go.
you go. Well, it looks like you're doing all right.
I got to make a few dollars. 1 minute.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere because we know where you live and we'll find yourself. Be right back. Corleone Vodka on March 9th was picked as the best vodka for martinis in the world by the Robb Report. By calling 518-713-4050 or 518-220-9463, it could be shipped directly to your house. The finest vodka in the world by Robb Report. All right, we're back. And that's true. This show is about you. And I have to say, we were at PaisanCon.
Yeah,
We
that
were in a
was fun.
room, and all the Soprano cast was on one side, and there were well, a lot of them we all know, and then he's sitting there. I'm saying, why hasn't he been on my podcast? You know, we're so familiar. We've been friends for so long.
It's true.
That's why you're here. But I mean, please, you're a thespian. You studied.
This is what happened. I'll tell you the whole story.
Please.
All right.
And it's very boring, so I'm just going to make one completely up. No, I'm only kidding. So I was the youngest of 5 Italian children. So when I was born, there was rock and roll albums all over the house already. Murray the K compilations, Alan Freed compilations. So there was music playing from the second I was born, for real. And I used to sit on this red rocking horse and with the old Victrola and listen to Bobby Darin and the old Volare and Sealed with a Kiss and all those songs. And I'd sing them when I was little. I loved to sing. So then the Beatles came, and that's it. I was obsessed with the Beatles. Ed Sullivan, February 9th, 1964. And I begged my father to get me, it would be nice if I related to Paul McCartney or John Lennon, but I related to Ringo. What can I tell you? So I made my dad get me drums, and he did. And then, he got me I had a snare drum and a cymbal. That was it. And the first song I ever played was If I Fell by the Beatles. I was 8. And then for confirmation, he got me a full drum set. And I played the drums, honestly, almost every single day, unless I was sick. I just loved playing the drums. It got out energy. By then we had FM radio, and I'd just play it behind me and play to the music. And when I was 12, I saw Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, at the Nanuet Mall Cinema in Rockland County. And that was it. I saw that movie. I didn't know what a director did. I didn't know what a producer did. I wasn't even sure whether or not they were real cowboys. I just knew I wanted to do what Paul Newman and Robert Redford were doing, especially with Catherine Ross. And that was it. I was like, I'm doing that. I want to be an actor. So unfortunately, I didn't 100% commit. My parents scared me a little. My father was like, no, you have to go to law school. Like, he didn't know anything about show business, anything. And he's like,
Wow.
oh, go to law school, don't be an actor. So I went to NYU, lived in the dorms. I made spending money by playing the drums for every gay singer on Christopher Street. And this was like 75, 76, 77. Christopher Street was wild. And I'm
surprised you don't speak with a lisp.
No, you know what? I love gay people. I grew up with them. I'm in show business. I personally, don't have a gay bone in my body, but that's perfectly okay. I was on Christopher Street like every weekend, Friday and Saturday, playing in these clubs for these guys. And it was an experience. So I'm going to tell you, I'm trying to make the story a little shorter, but I think it's a good story. So one of them,
make it shorter? Go talk. Don't worry about it.
One of them, his name was Carmine Stippo. You might even know him. He was an Italian guy. He was on a soap opera. I can't remember which one. And he was pretty good. So he cut an album my senior or junior year at NYU. And in those days, when you made a demo, it was vinyl. It wasn't a cassette. It wasn't an agent. It was vinyl. So I wrote a love song and he put it on that record. And around that time, I was panicking, thinking like, when I graduate, how am I going to make money? How am I going to be an actor? And I was taking acting lessons at NYU with Stella Adler. And
oh, wow.
You know what? She was terrible. Everyone goes, oh, wow. She was nuts. Pearl Pearson was nuts. Ron Burris was nuts. And as far as I was
nuts, that's right. I went once, said, we're going to be a tree. I said, I'm out of here. Get out.
Exactly. They had you barking like dogs. And I was like, no. And I really did think they were all crazy. And I was like, I'm never going to learn how to do this. I'm never going to make money as an actor. So I was panicking. So I took some acting classes outside of NYU with Joan Dincheco at a place called Video Associates. She was the head of daytime casting at ABC.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like 17 or 18. I was really young. I graduated college when I was 20. So maybe I was 18, 19. So there was only one other young person in the class, this beautiful, gorgeous, sexy 18-year-old. So we'd get put together all the time to rehearse and do the scenes. So I'd go to her apartment. I was down in the dorms in the Village at NYU. She was in a beautiful high rise on Broadway and 72nd, where the McDonald's is in the lobby. The building is still there, the white brick high rise. It was super luxurious at the time. So this 18-year-old is living with this 50-year-old guy. And
I was going to say, who's she sleeping with? Hello.
He was one of the coolest guys I ever met, Gianni. And he took a liking to me. Like, he wanted to help me. And it was Murray the K. It was Murray Kaufman.
Oh, wow.
She's living with Murray the Kaufman. And she turned out to be the highest paid soap opera star in history, Jackie Zeman from General Hospital. She made more money than Susan Lucci. So they got married. So Murray.
Oh, they got married too.
Oh, they got married for a while. And so Murray listened to that love song and he's like, kid, this is a hit. He goes, this is a hit. And he said, Jay Black is looking for a new hit. He left the Jay and the Americans. So it's my senior year at NYU. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm a drummer. I don't know how to act to save my life. Stella Adams' class they were all nuts. They had us barking like dogs. I'm like, this isn't going to do it.
I only went once.
Yeah, exactly. So Murray brings me to meet Steve Lieber and David Krebs. Do you know them? Gianni did. All right. So Steve and David, at the time, I thought they were really old. They were like in their early 30s. But by that time, they were lawyers. Then they were agents at William Morris and handled the Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys.
Wow.
Went out on their own, became managers already. When I met them, they had this young guy in the office all the time, Steven Tyler. He was there with his wife, Liv, and with his wife, Susan, and his little baby. They handled Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Walter Regan, Parliament Funkadelic, eventually AC/DC, and eventually Joan Jett with Kenny Laguna. They were like millionaires already, and Jay Black. So I meet these two young, crazy guys. This is 1977. And they're like, yeah, man, this is a great song. So I'm like, okay, I'll make money from the royalties. I'll be able to go to LA and study acting and really study. And I'm all excited. I'm like flipping out excited. So then I don't hear from Murray. He like disappeared. So I call him up, and this is really funny, John. You'll get a kick out of this. I call him up and go, Murray, what's going on with the record? He goes, Al, he goes, we're on to something. He goes, if this hits, we're all going to be rich. And he hangs up. And I'm thinking, you're already rich. You got a Cadillac to live in a high rise. You know, I'm the only one that doesn't have any money. So he calls me in April of 1977 out of the blue, and he tells me to go to SIR Studios at 250 West 54th Street. 254 West 54th Street, they were just constructing a brand new discotheque. So I go to 250 West 54th Street, SIR Studios, 6th floor. Art Garfunkel's in there rehearsing. Meatloaf is in another studio rehearsing for his appearance on Saturday Night Live. And I go in this studio, and there's 4 guys on stage playing Penny Lane, and I was just shocked. The McCartney looked exactly like McCartney. He was playing the well, it was a Rickenbacker for Penny Lane, but he had a Hoffer mostly. They were phenomenal. They sounded exactly like the Beatles. And then they played Strawberry Fields, and the Beatles never played Strawberry Fields live. I was just dumbfounded. So Murray walks up, I'm back in the couch, and this is what a small world it is. The musical director was the producer and keyboard player of Jay and the Americans. It's such a small world, and I'm still friends with him to this day, Sandy Yaguda. So Murray goes, you think I could do that, Al? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I could play those songs. I mean, I played half the Beatles songs before, just in my parents', a basement. So he goes, no, I know you could play the drums. He goes, you think you could sit back there while the guys in front of you are the stars of the show? He knew me so well. He was so like, and I'm like, yeah, I'll sit back there. I'll shut the hell up and I'll play the drums. So he got me auditions. I got in the show. It got me in show business. It was the Winter Garden Theater on 52nd Street in Broadway. My first job, I had 2 dressers. I had a wig person. It was a gigantic hit. I've been working my way down the ladder of success ever since. So I started out at the Winter Garden, and I saved up my money. I stayed in the show for 5 years. That was a little too long. Wow. It's a little long, but I saved up a lot of money.
What'd you do? 8 shows a week then, right?
Sometimes, because it was rock and roll also. Once we hit the road and did LA, and sometimes we did 10 and got so much overtime, and they paid us in cash on the road. It was they just give us $100 bills. So I saved up my money, went to LA, studied. I went to 3 acting schools that were absolutely horrible. Like horrible. It was like kindergarten. And I was, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to learn how to do this. And, the teachers were late. They'd bring their dogs to class. It was a joke. And then I found Milton Katselas. And in August of 1984, I was already older. I walk into that class. There's 99 seats in the classroom. The 99 equity waiver theaters in LA, you have to have 99 or less to get equity actors for like $20 a night. They allow that in LA. I walk in August of 1984. George Clooney, Patrick Swayze, Joan Van Ark, Anna Alicia, the Joel Schumacher, who went to be a phenomenal director. Who else was there? Anna Alicia from Falcon Crest, Lorenzo Lamas from Falcon Crest, and the grandmother in Everyone Loves Raymond studied with him. 29 years she studied with him after she won her Emmys and was a multimillionaire, Doris Roberts. So this place was really serious. I found a great place. He taught us how to act. He taught us how to get work. I owe my life to that guy. I owe everything. I'd be a completely different person, maybe better, maybe worse, probably worse. I owe everything to that guy. And
that was Murray?
No, well, Murray, I owe Milton.
Murray opened the door.
Murray
Yeah,
opened
okay.
the door, and Milton taught me how to
Oh, Milton, sorry.
the most important thing he taught is how to have the right attitude. You have the right attitude naturally, Gianni. He tried to teach people how to be like you, how to always be positive, look at the bright side of everything, celebrate the positive, don't dwell on anything negative, push it away, because there's always something positive in everything. Build on that little bit of positivity. He was more about mental control than acting than anything.
That's what it is.
Your attitude is everything. Attitude actually monitors your talent. You could ruin your talent with a bad attitude, and you could create talent from almost nothing with a great attitude. But anyway, that's my boring story.
That's a great
That's
story.
wonderful.
Hello.
You know,
It's
so-
very
That's
inspirational.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes, it
you
is.
should write a book about that, though. That's very inspirational for people
Thank you.
to hear.
It really is. You can, your energy is contagious. You know what I mean? I would have to think the people around you, either, that's how I am. I'm a little hyper, and people around me either are exhausted by me or they catch the buzz, you know?
That's right.
So-
Exactly.
If they can't catch it, then move along. But that's fantastic. So the Anna Nicole Smith, what is that called? Is that just called the Anna
It's
Nicole
called,
story?
no, it's called Trust Me, I'm a Doctor.
Oh,
A
okay.
great
Okay.
title, Trust Me, I'm a Doctor. And it's you know, it's good. It's for theaters. You know, it's for movie theaters. So it's got a decent budget. And I think it might be pretty good. I love the script. The acting's great. We'll see. We'll see. You know, you never know till it's done. And
And
it's
what's your character in it? What are you doing?
Right.
I'm the head of the investigation for the California Medical Board.
So
I'm
you're the
always
rat.
asshole of Gianni. Always the asshole.
He's always an FBI guy or a cop.
Well, you know, me for when I was fascinated by that story, and I was, you know, when she died, I was heartbroken for her
Yeah.
because her son had just died. So,
I
you know,
know.
it was hard to tell what was wrong with her, but I sure I'm looking forward to, do you know when that's coming out?
I'd say about 7-8 months.
Very-
I'm filming it for another 3-4 weeks. And then I'm doing a crazy, I think it's Lifetime. It's like, it's Carrie meets Mean Girls. You know, it's like a Mean Girls story, supernatural story. I play a school principal. In the end, my head explodes.
Carrie the movie with the blood?
Yeah, it's like Carrie meets Mean Girls. It's
Sure,
about
that
high
movie
school
was Mean Girls. Well,
girls.
that's crazy.
Wild.
So that's what you got going on. Are you going, do you go around doing any singing gigs now?
Yes,
Oh,
ready
he's
for
all
this?
over the place.
We're opening for the Fifth Dimension, you know, Marilyn McCoo, and on September 26th at the PNC Bank Performing Arts Center in Homedale, New Jersey. 8,000 seats. Last year we opened for Herman's Hermits for Peter Noon. That was great. 8,000 seats. It sold out. And between now and then, we just did LA at you said at Eden's place and Herb Alpert's place. I think that's our next gig. I think that's the next one.
Well, you're slowing down a little because you normally have one every other week.
No, I know. I like to listen. I'll sing at the opening of an envelope.
I love that. Hey, well, I'm in Utah. I am in Utah. So when you come this direction, which no one does,
Okay.
let me know. Gianni's always telling me of the fun stuff you're doing. I was telling Gianni a few visits ago. My name used to be Caputo, so I'm gonna change it for PaisanCon each year and join you guys because it looked like
Please,
so
you
much
gotta
fun.
come.
It
Yeah.
was. You
Oh.
have to come.
Well, I'll tell you, it looked like a blast. But yes, if you, I'll start following you. You know,
You're not related to Mia Caputo on 71st Street, are you? There's a Caputo family right here.
I'm the Utah Caputos.
Okay. All right. You never know. You never
There's
know.
Well,
very few Mormon Caputos around.
well that
And they all live in one house.
Yeah.
no, there is a very small group. But I am at PaisanCon. Look at all the fun you guys have, and I'll tell you,
Yes.
how do you stay young? Because it sounds like you're as active and on it as much as Gianni is? Do you eat great? I know Gianni does some
This is the only thing. Yeah, John, I'm like Gianni, like that. I work out, I work out.
I don't work out at all, though.
But you walk every day, right, Gianni?
You walk for 5 miles, right? Yeah.
No, I walk 3 miles.
No, I do, but you know what you should do? You should do right in your apartment, do some push-ups and sit-ups. It actually strengthens your bones at our age. And I just walk. I walk like you on the treadmill fast. And while I'm walking, I do my emails, I do texts, and if I have to read a script, I do it on the treadmill. So
Wow.
I'm there. I could work while I'm doing it. And then I have a gym in my building, as Johnny does also. And so I work out a little bit with weights just to build, to keep my muscles and my bone, especially. It makes your bone stay strong. It takes the brittleness out of your bones at our age. So, and I eat well. I don't drink anything. I don't drink wine. I don't ingest alcohol.
Wow.
I was never an alcohol. I just don't like it. I never acquired a taste for alcohol, and it makes me tired. So I don't smoke. I don't smoke pot. I don't do drugs. I don't take one pill, but I have a sugar problem.
Oh.
And if I don't cut that out, sugar is really toxic, especially when you get older. It feeds cancer cells. But I eat like Reese's peanut butter cups and Milky Ways. It's my only freaking vice.
Why would you be professing how healthy you are, and then you said, "But I eat sugar"?
I'm being honest. I'm healthy in every way. But hey, it's better than snorting coke.
But exactly.
No, but I mean, you got to stop that.
I know I have to, because
I don't have any sugar.
Habits.
I have no sugar or no salt in my diet.
Yeah, you're so smart. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
I got 10% body fat. I weigh 161 pounds.
Brilliant.
And I'm Tentuki Tai Chi Matsu.
Wow.
I got 1,600 pounds of pressure in this hand.
Wow.
But Gianni started the strength training as a little boy, right? Gianni in the polio board. He was doing that resistance bands when he was a very young kid.
I used to sleep with bicycle tube and say the rosary because I was trying to build elasticity muscles.
Wow.
So I don't do anything repetitious. I do anything straight. But I have to say, you are such a great guest. When you have stuff to exploit, come on. You have my number, please. No, people want to hear
Reacher. Reacher right now. Please, everybody, watch Reacher. I'm in season 2. Season 2's out right now. I play Lieutenant Shaw. That's on. Of course, the reruns of The Sopranos and Brotherhood. Brotherhood's great. Brotherhood's on Showtime. It won the AP called it a masterpiece. It's kind of like The Sopranos. It's a mafia political story, and that's it. That's all that's going on. I've got these. Look for the. Trust me, I'm a doctor, and send cash.
Send cash. Well, I'm telling you what, you're as you've got the energy that Gianni does, and it's fantastic. And I can't wait. I'm a big fan of Reacher, and I can't wait to see the Anna Nicole thing, because that's a story I followed at the time, and we'll certainly put these things on our social sites, and we'll certainly hashtag those other Brotherhood and all those other things.
She runs all the social.
I'm trying to get our Facebook and our Instagram and everything up and going, and so I'll tag you on those things if you're okay with it. Well,
yeah, of course. Sure did you see the second season of Reacher? Did you see the second season yet?
Not yet. My sister was sick, and I didn't do a lot of, but I've got a treadmill right next to me in my living room, and I'm not one for sitting down. And I thought, if I want to watch a show, I don't park my fat butt on the couch. I make myself get on the treadmill, and then I have eaten ice cream while on the treadmill, but I'm on the treadmill, so I can make those.
Right. No, you're moving, you're working out.
That's right. As long as you're doing something, right?
That's right. Yeah, watch Reacher. Wow. The second season's really good. I love Reacher. I love Alan Richman too. He's a great guy. Great guy.
Reacher is called?
Reacher.
You'd like it, Johnny. It's like a vigilante show. It's like the old Death Wish. Remember Death Wish with Bronson? You know,
It's so funny. I had so many businesses. I never watched movies. I never
Wow.
watched television.
Yeah.
I'm doing it more now because the streets are so violent. I don't
Yeah.
go out as much. And
Right.
everything is closed down in New York. But back to you though, please.
But
Drop the dime and come on anytime you want. Please.
I'd
Oh,
love
please
to.
do. Come back let's do a recap when you're Anna Nicole.
Okay.
I wrote it down. Trust me, I'm a doctor. When that
Trust me,
comes
I'm a
out, please
doctor.
come back.
And September 26th, PNC Bank Arts Center, 8,000 seats, opening for the Fifth Dimension. It'll be great.
God bless you. That's great.
Is
All
that
right.
sold out as well?
Probably not yet. I don't even know. I don't know. The
It
other
will
one
be.
was sold. The Hermits sold out. It was so much fun.
I didn't know they were still around, the Fifth Dimension, Madeline McCool.
Yes.
I
She's
knew them
around.
well.
The original guy's around. I forgot what his name is. Something Davis, Billy Davis, or something Jr. And Peter Noon from Hermits. He was fabulous. He sounded like he just recorded the records. His energy was funny and charming. The Hermits were great. It was a great show. They were different.
All right. Well,
All
we'll
righty.
call it a night. Thank you, Al. Please.
Love you, Gianni. You're a great guy.
Oh, you are also.
Nice meeting you, Jeannie.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's been so fun. Thank you so much.
All right.
Fantastic. If I can get to the PMC Center, I would love to. So I need to start broadening my horizons.
September 26th.
I wrote it down right here.
You can stay at my place.
All right. Hey, I am trying to get a little more. My son said, Mom, you got to have a little more fun. So, hey, I need to start. Mind my kids.
That's right.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much. Fun show.
Hope to see you
Thank
soon.
everybody out there. And remember, keep the cards and let us come in and subscribe and give us some show ideas. We've done them before. And I have to thank all of you. Last week, we hit 971,000 views.
Wow.
We're just under 1 million. And I'm not Taylor Swift. She is, but I'm not.
That's great.
So that's one thing. This show goes everywhere, man. It's amazing what we're doing.
And you know what? One other thing, in May of 2025, you're going to be rich enough to truly be my friend.
I'm already your friend, believe me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Love you too,
All
man.
right.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Good
See
night,
you later.
everybody. Good night,
All
Jeannie.
right.
Love you.
Good night, my dear. Love you.
Night.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that was that. But I'll be back.
No regrets, no complaints. Lived a life with no restraints. The little kid they all counted out, proved them all wrong, that's without a doubt. Laying there with my left side numb, 5-year bout with polio, but yes, I won. From standing on corners like how many pens you want to living in a bakery, then opening my own restaurant. Of course, I had some help along the way, friends like Frank Costello that I miss each and every day. Things from many years ago still resonate.